This is BluLunch, Sheridan College's own sports podcast, hosted by Jay and Drew.
Hey folks, welcome to BluLunch. I kind of want to talk about something that happened this past weekend. Did you hear about that monkey?
Vaguely.
Yeah?
Vaguely. At IKEA, right?
That monkey was dressed better than I dress. I don't know.
Looked like it had a fur coat on.
Yeah, apparently. But that was pretty much as exciting as my weekend went because I was expecting the lockout to end. Even though last week I said it was going to go the whole year. But we got that coming up, and we're going to talk about... Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, what's better than NHL drama like that over the games? I probably take that every week. It's like a soap opera, what we saw last week.
But eventually you want it to end, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course. But we're going to start off with NFL. There's a lot of stuff that happened. So let's start with the Redskins.
We have our biggest Kirk Cousins fan here.
Oh, yes.
Jay absolutely loves him.
This kid, seriously, was picked in the same draft by the Redskins as RG3. And I can tell you right now, for him to come in and proved not only to the fans, but to the Redskins that, thank you, like, there was a reason you picked me. And instead of him hiding under RG3's, like, I don't know. Shadow, I guess. He comes out and, he scores his own touchdown. I thought that was amazing, first of all. That play, when I watched it, I thought, good for you, kid. What do you think?
He came in, he played great. He threw the touchdown to Garcon right at the end. They needed the 2-point conversion. He calls his own number, gets in there, ties the game, and then luckily for him, Washington gets a punt return in overtime to take him down deep in the red zone, and they're able to kick a field goal. But
they don't do that unless... Because
exactly.
RG3 gets injured, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. There was question to whether he hurt his ACL or not, but it looks like it's just a sprain. Looks like he'll be okay to go. But the funny thing is, when Washington took Kirk Cousins in the third round this past year, all the draft experts, or, in quotations, experts, were questioning the move. They're like, why are you taking Kirk Cousins if you just took your franchise quarterback? Some said, oh, maybe they're taking him to trade. They want to develop him like the Patriots did with Castle. But right now, Kirk Cousins has come in a couple times, and he's performed really well. I'm sure there's teams out there like Buffalo and Jacksonville that wish they had a quarterback like him, one they could groom.
Yeah, I thought when RG3 went down, for him to come in and step up, that was huge for the Redskins. Yeah. And if I was a Redskins fan, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd be really stoked about how he played.
The Redskins paid a steep price for RG3 in the draft. They gave up something like their first round pick in the draft. They moved up to number 2, and then they gave up like 3 firsts for the next 3 years. Like they invested a lot in this kid, and RG3 currently is the leading jersey. He leads the league in jersey sales. So
RG3 is amazing.
He's very popular. Very popular. Him and Andrew Luck will always be linked together, which leads us to another comeback win by the Indianapolis Colts, 27-23 over Tennessee. And if you could write the script, they were down 20-7. And what happened? Andrew Luck leads them back.
Of course.
27-23. They're one win away from clinching a playoff spot. Good for the Colts. I mean, they were the worst team in the league last year, and it shows you just how important a quarterback is to a team, because literally...
Luck is everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
He's everything.
But you look at Luck, and he's got Reggie Wayne at wide receiver, but there's not really much on the line, and he doesn't really have a marquee running back. And when you think of the defense, Dwight Freeney's getting older, Robert Mathis is getting older. When you think of the Indianapolis Colts, you think of Andrew Luck, and what Luck's going to bring is he's going to bring free agents. The Colts are going to continue to get better. What makes me mad is the Colts have been good for so long. They had Peyton Manning for, since 97. And all of a sudden you have one bad year. Now you're going to have Andrew Luck for another 13 years. I mean, the Colts are always going to be good. And that's how a team should run.
And I guess it's also important that their comeback win is the fact that they're about to clinch a playoff spot.
Oh, yeah.
In the next game, if they win.
If you told me the Indianapolis Colts would be 9-4, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah.
And here they are, 9-4.
It's impressive, and in my opinion, it's probably all.
It's how they win, though. It's not like they go out and they blow out teams. It's the fact that they face adversity and they seem to come back in every game. Tennessee, Green Bay, who'd they face last week? Detroit. I mean, they just come back in the final quarter. It's like the switch goes on and, we better win this game. And Andrew Luck just does this thing. It's unbelievable.
Well, to an impressive team, back to a team that's close to your heart.
For the Bills fans out there, I know obviously they're playing in Toronto this week, so thought we'd give them a shout out. Even though they're 5-8, they will not make the playoffs. They've only had one winning season in this millennium.
Whoa, that's
2004. They were 9-7.
like that, but then when you say it out loud, it's kind of
I make it sound worse than what it actually is.
We're right now we are on Toronto Maple Leaf territory. So, continue.
They haven't made the playoffs since 1999, when Doug Flutie was quarterback.
Never mind. I retract my last statement.
Former Argonaut, Stampeder, former CFL MVP. They lose again, and they lose typical Buffalo Bills fashion.
Yeah, I thought that
final minute.
I thought they had that game.
I think everyone thought they had that game. And final minute and questionable coaching calls. You'll probably agree that CJ Spiller's probably their best player. Most people will agree.
Yeah.
And CJ Spiller touched the ball 8 times the whole game. He rushed the ball 7 times, and he caught 1 pass. And Fred Jackson, the other running back, had 9 carries. He had more carries than CJ Spiller had touches. And he averaged 1.4 yards a carry, Fred Jackson. And Spiller averaged 5.3. And that's been the story all year with Buffalo. And the coaching's been a disaster. Fitzpatrick's been a disaster. And they can't beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
So you're a Bills fan. What would you have them do if they need to make a move or
they need to fire Chan Gailey? I think there was whispers that that he should go to begin with, but yesterday was icing on the cake. The fact that they were on the 34-yard line, he had the field goal unit out. The Bills were up 12-7, and he had the field goal unit out, and he thought it was a 50-yard field goal. And then someone whispered to him on the sidelines that it was a 52-yard field goal. So he called timeout and sent the punt unit out. And that's fine, but why would you burn a timeout if you're going to punt the ball anyways? Why wouldn't you take the 5-yard penalty and punt the ball and keep the timeouts? And then 8 touches for Spiller. He thinks Ryan Fitzpatrick's Tom Brady when Fitzpatrick's throwing the ball 37 times a game. The fact is the Bills aren't getting the ball to the playmakers. They're not getting the ball to Jackson. They're not getting the ball to Spiller. It's Fitzpatrick thinking, and it's not Fitzpatrick's fault. Gailey's putting his trust in him, and Fitzpatrick's throwing interceptions, or he got sacked 5 times yesterday, and even if the Bills won, they still would be a game back of a playoff spot with Cincy and Pittsburgh losing, but they lose. And the Jets somehow find a way to win with Mark Sanchez at quarterback, and the Jets are a game back all of a sudden.
I know.
And on a side note, you know how you said you would have started McElroy? He was inactive yesterday. It was Sanchez and Tebow.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no,
shows what we know.
Yeah, exactly. But those Jets, huh? What were we saying about them a couple weeks ago? That they're a joke or something
I
like
still
that?
think they're a joke.
Yeah,
Somehow
but
they get it
they're
done.
closer to a lot of other teams, especially.
It's not how you win; it's how many, right?
Yeah,
and somehow
exactly.
they're 6
and I'm telling
7.
you, I'm going to tell you right now, the Jets, when they win, they barely win, like barely, by 1 or 2 points.
How many?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Nothing like Seattle.
Well, that's they definitely don't win like the Jets. Seattle absolutely blows Arizona out of the water yesterday. 58-0.
That was the most one-sided football game I think I've ever seen.
Considering Arizona started 4-0 somehow, I don't know how. And now they've lost 9 in a row.